Next, we're going to look at the idea of percent. So if you pull out your outline, you'll see that you're supposed to read page 185. Page 185 has a definition of percent, and it says percent is the ratio of a given number to 100. This means that a percent is the numerator of a fraction whose denominator is 100. And if you look at the little drawings down here, you can see where they've given 100 blocks down here. So if I had 8%, that would be 8 out of those 100 blocks. So that's what percent means. It means something that's out of 100. So you're going to look at a couple of different examples. The first one that we're going to look at is example 2. And if you notice on your outline, you are told to work through example 2. So we're going to look through that one first. So let's go back to our book and pull that one up. It says write the following percents as simplified fractions. So every time you have a percent and you want to write it as a fraction, you simply take the number, drop the percent sign, and write it over a fraction. Now, once it's simplified, if you're good at fractions, you can look at that one and you can say, well, 25 goes into 75 and 25 goes into 100, and you would get 3/4. Let's assume, though, that we're not good with fractions, because a lot of people hate math, and one of the reasons is they hate math is because they're bad with fractions. So I hit my fraction key and I put 75 and I put 100 on the bottom, and I hit enter, and it reduces it for me. Now that one you could probably do on your own. When you look at the second part of that example, though, part B says salaries up 6.8%. So if I wanted to write that as a fraction, I would have my 6.8 over 100. And I cannot mix decimals and fractions, so I have to make sure this is reduced. So if I put in my fraction my 6.8 on the top, and I put my 100 in the bottom, and I hit enter, it's going to reduce it for me, and it's going to change it to a decimal first. And then what you're going to want to do is this key here that says FD on it on your calculator, you're going to want to hit that key so that it will change it to the simplified fraction, which is 17 over 250. If I'm trying to do this by hand, I want to get rid of this decimal, and the way I get rid of this decimal is it needs to come over one place. So if it comes over one place, that's how many zeros you add to the bottom. So the top would be 68, the bottom would be 1,000. So if you're doing this by hand now, we're going to say, well, 2 will go into 68, and 2 goes into 68 34 times, and 2 goes into 1,500. 2 goes into 34 17, and 2 goes into 500 250. So that's how the calculator is getting that answer. What you need to remember is if you're going to change a percent to a fraction, drop the percent sign and put it over 100 and reduce it.